Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, today we are going to talk about positions because a whole bunch of positioning occurred last week. And we're going to go through and talk about where everybody is sitting at time of filming, which is late Sunday night. I will try to limit my commentary during this and just go through the information because this is information you are going to see again. Okay, we're going to start with Biden. Last week, Biden engaged in a whole bunch of signaling. Now, what you include in that is up to you. It could be the hot mic moment. It could be things that he said openly during the interview. It could be the way he said things in the interview. But there was a bunch of it that occurred, to include things that he said during the State of the Union. You also had high-ranking Democratic senators talk about conditioning or maybe even totally ending aid. The way it was phrased, it could mean all aid or it could mean offensive military aid. My gut tells me that it's offensive. We got the timeline on the pier in the seaborne operation, 60 days, 2 months. I do not believe they have that amount of time. I don't think they have 60 days. Biden established his, quote, red lines, one of which was an offensive into Rafah, an Israeli offensive into Rafah. Okay, Netanyahu, shortly thereafter, was basically like, Rafah, yeah, we're doing that. In essence, calling what he believes to be a bluff by Biden. Why does he believe it's a bluff? All of the reasons that we've talked about, all of those normal foreign policy constraints, the sphere of influence, masters of the universe, American dominance, balance of power reasons, that the U.S. can't normally just drop Israel, right? Under normal circumstances, it would be pretty safe to call that bluff. Famine does indeed hit different. It changes things on the foreign policy scene, particularly if the United States has made a giant spectacle out of saying we're not going to let this happen, to include constructing or ordering a giant pier to be constructed. That is also about power. Now, one of the other things that Netanyahu said was that an offensive into Rafah would not take more than 2 months or 60 days. Maybe that's a coincidence. So, both Netanyahu and Biden have talked very publicly and put themselves in positions that are in direct contradiction to each other. They're oppositional on this. Okay. The Palestinian Authority, elements within the Palestinian Authority, have basically called for Hamas to hand over Gaza to them, to give them the reins of power in Gaza. Hamas is not likely to be receptive to this. There is a rumor, at time of filming it is unconfirmed, but I feel like it's going to be confirmed, that Hamas wants to put their own person up for the top position in the unity government. The Palestinian Authority is unlikely to be very receptive to that. The ceasefire talks are, I don't want to say not progressing. They are not showing progress, if that makes sense. They're still talking, but they're not, it's pretty static. Something I want to add to this, because questions have come in from all over the place asking about the captives taken by either side and why nobody's covering it. When people are talking about the ceasefire, they're covering it. Any exchange is going to occur in that. So it's people just not differentiating. But any exchange and a ceasefire at this point, they certainly seem tied together in those talks. The other development is that Ramadan has started. Okay, so what does all of this mean? In that international poker game where everybody is cheating, everybody's got their cards. Everybody has their cards. What you see here is the public facing stuff. This is literally the player's face. You don't know what's in their hand, but the hand's been dealt. The stage is set for developments to occur. All of this stuff that we just went over, you're going to see it again. I don't know that you will see the developments right away, but my guess is within 14 days, you'll start to see a lot of this stuff get addressed, because these positions are interfering with other things. So there's going to be a lot of pressure to resolve them. Again, they don't have 60 days to get that food and water in there. It doesn't exist. And we will probably start seeing some more maybe counter signaling like within the next 2 days over this. Now, whether or not Biden is bluffing, I don't know. But there's the situation is at the point now where you're going to start seeing developments that are going to shape the rest of it. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.